or you need that?
Yes, yes. Okay, let us start now.
Yeah.
All right, Hare Krishna. So today we are going to read story of Lord Jagannath. The reason we chose, this is that sometimes we need to experience the bliss, reading the stories of exchange between Lord and his devotees and how beautiful it is. We see so many relationships in this world, child and mother, teacher and student, husband and wife, brother and sister, child and father. All the relationships are definitely beautiful and blissful, and each and every relationship has own bliss. But the relationship between devotee and Lord is on different level, is on different platform, and the bliss we experience in those, in those exchanges when we hear, when we read, that's on another level, and that makes us understand about power of devotion. What pulls a devotee towards the Lord? Why devotees are ready to take up austerities or different types of tapasyas only for the sake of the Lord? Why devotees so much surrendered to the Lord? So, such relationships, when we read about them, the exchanges, when we read about them, they definitely fill our heart with joy. And these exchanges inspire us to, become servant of the Lord, to revive our relationship with the Lord, and also to become surrendered to the devotees of the Lord. We always read that we should surrender to the Lord, but the pure devotees of the Lord are also very, very powerful. And by listening to them, by surrendering onto them, also, we can attain Lord, we can please Lord. So today I have like two books. So this is the book, so I'm sharing, and this is also one book. So we will choose from this and we will read. Okay, so I will read one of the stories for you. Let me see which one I can pick. Hmm. Okay, so I am reading one of the stories, and the temple is built. Okay, page number 40. Hmm. Okay, so after resolving to build the Jagannath temple, King Indradyumna wasted no time. He first marked out the piece of land on which the temple would stand. Once this was done, it was time to purify the land and make it worthy of bearing the sacred shrine. So it seems like King Indradyumna was, acquiring some piece of land, and once he got that, now it's time to purify it. So now, hello, I see someone has joined, someone new. Welcome to the class. We just started. And it would be great if Sia and someone new can switch on their cameras too. Okay, so after acquiring the piece of land, King Indradyumna is planning further to purify the land. So Brahmanas, ministers, and other experts who were well versed in Vedas and the ancient knowledge of Vastu Shastra were brought to the Purushottam Kshetra. So Samanyu, we are reading the story of Lord Jagannath. We just started reading, so you entered at the right time. Okay.
Uh,
Okay, so as the land purification rituals begin, so whenever we buy any piece of land, we have to build a temple or anything, we have to purify that place first. Lord is all purifying, but in order to install something, install the deities of the Lord, to build a temple, we need to purify the place. We need to sanctify the place because Lord is all worshipable, respectable. So, so purification processes were began and continued every day. King Indradyumna sent for the king of Utkal, Koshal, Kalinga. So different kings from different places were being called to, to purify. When the purification of the place was going on, where the temple of Jagannath ji has to be built, they arrived immediately. as they were already aware of his plans and were eager to help in any way they could. So Indradyumna told them, my fellow kings, I stand before you today to humbly seek your help. The Vidya mountains, situated in the middle of India, hold beautiful stones that shall serve to create the wonderful temple I have in mind. I need to be here to oversee the preparations, and hence I need your assistance in gathering these stones from Vindhyas. So Vindhya mountains are there in India, and it has beautiful stones. So king wanted to use those stones to build the temple of Jagannath ji. So he requested other kings. So king of Kalinga said, leave it to us. Say no more, O king. And so it was three kings, accompanied by large groups of their men, rode to the Vindhyas to personally supervise the quarrying and transport of stones to the temple site. So stones have to be acquired and sent to the site where temple has to be built. At the same time, King Indradyumna ordered his men to carry invitations bearing his insignia to the kings all over the world, requesting their presence in Purushottam Kshetra. So Purushottam Kshetra is a place where temple has to be built. So his messengers left, King Indradyumna's messengers left promptly to deliver his message. Within few days, kings began arriving, making their way through plains, hills, islands, plateaus. So you can see kings from far off places are coming, you know, accompanied by their armies, priests, and carrying wealth by ton. Soon they were all gathered in Purushottam Kshetra before an overjoyed king Indradyumna. So, dear children, there is something to notice. Do you see how all the kings have come are coming together just to build the temple of the Lord? This is the quality of a virtuous ruler. A virtuous ruler is someone who is dedicated to the Lord. Such rulers in the ancient times were called as Rajrishis because they were devotees of the Lord. And when a devotee of the Lord becomes a minister, a ruler, a king, that person will rule selflessly. That person will nurture the citizens with the feeling of affection, not with the feeling of exploitation, not with the feeling of enjoying them by ruling over them and exploiting them. We see in today's times the kings or the rulers, the ministers are not the devotees of Lord. And when they rule this world, we see world wars happening, we see exploitation happening, we see that nature is being exploited. We see the citizens are not satisfied or happy properly, they are not properly situated. The citizens are not coming closer to the Lord, they are coming close to sense enjoyment. They are coming close to different other things except lordships, Lord Krishna or Lord Jagannath. So when a king, ruler, or any minister is a devotee of a Lord, he will bring citizens closer to the Lord. His actions will be full of gratitude. His actions will be, dedicated to the Lord. That, oh Lord, I am ruling on behalf of you. In a similar way, there is a story of one of the Alvars, King Kulashekar. Every time he would rule his kingdom, he would share the report with Lord Padmanabh. So Padmanabh is a form of a Lord Vishnu like this. So he would share the report with the Lord, just like, you know, a student who is taking care of the class in the absence of a teacher shares the report of how class has been doing in teacher's absence with the teacher. So child, that particular monitor shares the report with the teacher. So in the same way, a kingdom, a ruler who is a devotee of a Lord, when he or she would rule the kingdom, he or she would see it as a, see himself as a representative of Lord. He would, rule as if this kingdom belongs to the Lord and I am just a trustee, I am just a caretaker. So this is how, when a devotee of a Lord rules, this is how they view the world, this is how they rule the citizens, and hence they do it with the attitude of servitude, not with the attitude of exploitation, enjoying, having power over them. So here all the kings are showing similar qualities. They are devotees of the Lord and they are coming together just to build a temple, and they are, so cooperative. Just when King Indradyumna shared with other rulers that bring stones, so they said, believe it to us, we will do it. They are working in a spirit of cooperation. But now in the world in today's time, we do not see such cooperative spirits among the different different prime ministers or rulers or, presidents of different countries of the world. We see that even United Nations is being built, but still the rivalries are there. The problems and the issues are there between the countries. The tensions are still there. So whenever it's said in Bhagavad Gita, the peace formula in this world is, keeping Krishna in the center. There cannot be peace in the world if we do not accept the fact that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the supreme maintainer and controller. Until and unless we all don't accept this point, there will never ever be peace, because everyone will go for their selfish motives. So exploitative nature will come up. This is the problem, right? So this is the peace formula which is given in Bhagavad Gita for all of us to remember. If we accept the common fatherhood, we will definitely have peace in the world. And common father of all the living entities in this world is Lord Sri Krishna. Okay. So, yeah. So soon they all gathered in Purushottam Kshetra before an overjoyed King Indradum. So all the kings have come. Great kings, King Indradumna said, great kings, as you must have heard by now, this sacred ground shall soon bear a magnificent temple. But before it is built, we must make sure that all the necessary rituals are performed so that the gods themselves bless this ground. So rituals are to be performed, place has to be purified so that Lord is pleased and blesses the ground. As we speak, sages from far and wide are on their way to perform an Ashwamedha Yajna. But the success of this yajna will not be possible without your help. So he is humbly seeking help of all kings. Say no more, noble Indradumna, said one of the kings. A yajna of this scale would require money and riches, and I shall pledge everything I can for it. So all the kings are ready to give money, wealth for the construction of the temple. And in today's time, we see that this is no more happening. Even citizens are hesitant in donating for the temple, right? So we all must thank Lord Krishna. We have free air to breathe. We get water every day. We have shelter. Everything is given to us by Lord Krishna. So we must try to donate for the Lord's pleasure, for the service of the Lord, so that Lord can be pleased and satisfied. And when we give for the Lord, Lord always takes care of us. Lord maintains us. People who are not giving donations to the temple are also living. If Lord can maintain such people, then why not the devotees? If Lord can maintain an ant, even an elephant who eats tons and tons or kgs and kgs in each day, why can't Lord maintain us? Lord, we should have this faith on the Lord that Lord will maintain us somehow or the other. Okay? So, yeah. Within minutes, the same thought was echoed by others. Not a single king declined to donate. So every king was ready to donate money, gold, precious stones, pearls, blankets, deerskin, beautiful mattresses, diamonds, elephants, and horses were promised. So you see how wonderful it is. I mean, these are such valuable things. Even if I think of any one of the valuables which I have, I may not have that readiness to give it to the Lord. This is the question I need to ask myself. Each one of us need to ask ourselves. So the kings immediately sent their emissaries to their respective kingdoms. Meanwhile, the wise and the learned from across the land gathered at the site of the temple and took it upon themselves to collect all the ingredients required for the yajna. Once these were ready, King Indradum's head priest walked through the length and breadth of the site until he identified a satisfactory spot worthy of hosting the yajna. So now, the ingredients are coming and they're almost ready. Next came the architects, then the architects came. They cleared the land, set about the building, the Yagyashala. The main sanctum was built first with neither effort nor expense spared. The platform was decorated with countless precious stones until it dazzled differently in the day and glowed differently in the night. So, how much dedication they are putting in just to build a beautiful temple. So everyone was eager to see how radiant it would become once the holy fires were lit in the Yajna Kund. Around the sanctum, hundreds of palatial rooms with massive doors were built. So it was like a palace built for Lord Jagannath. All the accommodations for the guests were kept in mind while these rooms were constructed. So guest rooms were also built. The Brahmins were housed in these rooms and welcomed with cooked dishes of various kinds, as well as sugarcane juice and milk. Every form of care was taken to make sure that they got richest of the welcomes. So welcome was also wonderful, and even the palace which was constructed for the Lord was also beautiful. King Indradyumna himself stood at the entrance to the royal enclave. As soon as it was complete, meals were offered to the Brahmanas. Close to 1 lakh Brahmins were served, most lavish meals every day. So many Brahmins were served, so nicely, lavish meals, amid the blowing of trumpets and beating of drums. So music was also there, food was also there. Thousands of people from all over India gathered to witness the spectacle. The purest of ghee, milk, and curd were offered to the people each day. So you see how huge hearted and generous these kings are. They are not only building beautiful temple, but they are also offering first class items, ghee, curd, milk to their citizens. They are also offering wonderful feast to brahmanas. How generous these kings are. It was not just meals that were given. The Brahmins were received generous donations of bulls and cows adorned with gold capped horns, precious stones, deer fur, mattresses, and expensive clothes. So, even cows and bulls, who are not even just cows and bulls, even they are decorated with gold. So, that was given to Brahmanas. So, it is considered very auspicious as per Vedas. Lord Krishna, Lord Himself, is very much pleased when Brahmins are given first class treatment. So King Indradyum's motivation was simple: no one should be dissatisfied. So when we desire to satisfy others, we obviously give our best, right? So this was the wish of the king, that no one should be dissatisfied. And truly, as the god themselves witnessed from above with wonder, no one was. So finally, on King Indradyum's direct orders, his soldiers secured the land for the strongest, fastest, and most majestic horse. So horses are secured, horses were examined, and they were released until they found the magnificent steed, the Yagya horse. So for the Yagya horse is required. So they are finding out the best horse for the Ashwamedha Yagya. The Yagya horse was then paraded around the country, gathering tributes and respects from the rulers. So, what is this Ashwamedha Yagya? Ashwamedha Yagya is basically a particular horse is chosen, and that horse has to move around the world. And wherever the horse will go, the kings of that kingdom, would have to give contribution or tribute and accept the authority of the one who is performing Ashwamedha Yagya. So, when that horse comes back successfully, so they can perform that yagya. It means the planet has accepted that particular king as the emperor. Okay. So that horse went to different rulers of the different lands. Meanwhile, the Yagya Kund was lit, the fires burned bright. King Indradyumna declared they would keep burning until gods themselves appeared and attested to the success. And how could gods resist such an endeavor of mystic proportions? After months of yagya, it took so many months. Early one morning, as the sun was just making its way up the sky, Jagannath appeared to Indradyumna in a vision. So Lord Jagannath was pleased. So he appeared. So here there is a box in this book. When this box comes, it means they are giving some lesson, or they are sharing something for us to ponder. So love means attention to detail. How do you really prove that you love someone? So when we love somebody, we take care of the details, right? By the amount of pain and tribulations you are willing to undergo to please that person and give them the most executive experience, exquisite experience. The temple of Jagannath in Purushottam Kshetra is a living marvel of intricate details. So it has a lot of details. Every single inch of that temple loudly proclaims the love of King Indradyumna toward Jagannath. A temple need not always be built of bricks or stones. It can be built with sacred material of pure love in the recesses of the heart. So the temple was not about, the gems or the wealth, the jewels, but the details with which it was made. like what will please Jagannath. If this corner will look like this, it will please the Lord. So the details. So if like you have ever noticed the garlands of Lord Radha Gopi Vallabh in ISKCON Boston, just notice the details. Or when you notice the, when you have darshans of the Lord looks so beautiful. Why? Because the pujari or the person who has dressed the Lord has put attention to details, that how this jewelry piece should be set so that Lord will look more beautiful. So to beautify the Lord, and paying attention to that detail is a form of a love, is a form of loving expression of a devotee. So this love is very, very important. Okay. Gopal, yes, you can also join the class. We are reading the story of Lord Jagannath. Okay, somewhere between sleep and wakefulness at that hour of dawn, King felt a tear crawl down his eyes, both in the dream state and his physical state, as the vision blessed him. So he saw Lord Jagannath, so tears were coming. He made haste to the Yajna Kund and shared his vision with everyone. There was a great pomp and ceremony, and ghee and milk were poured into fire for one last time. Then, with great reverence, the fire was specified. So, the yajna is now complete. And on that site began the construction, which went on painstakingly for years, while King Indradyumna erected a temple for Jagannath that truly dazzled the eyes. So this was a beautiful story for us to, relish. Okay. So now I can read one more story for you. 205. It is page 205. It's a fascinating story now. Okay, so you will be intrigued how Lord can just answer someone. Okay. Uh, hmm. Okay, so let's read one more story now. Okay. And I'm just choosing which one to read because all the stories are beautiful. So now the name of the story is Shattered Ego. We have heard this term many times, ego. So what exactly ego means? Ego means when we think of ourselves as the center, when we think of ourselves as all and all, and world revolves around us. And it happens with us, with each one of us, whether we are a child or whether we are in our stage of youthhood, adulthood, teenage. We think of ourselves as in all and all, and it can be due to ego, sorry, it can be due to beauty, education, wealth, that makes us proud, that makes our ego bloated. So here there is one of a person's story whose ego is bloated. So let's see what he did and how Lord Jagannath just shattered the ego of that person. I hope you all are with me. Okay, you are able to just pay attention. So, should I read? Should I read?
Yes.
Okay. So, the year was 1727. Okay, 1727. We are in 2025. So, this is like long backstory. Dhananjay Mehta, a rich man from Hyderabad, traveled to Jagannath Puri with his family. So while his family enjoyed the darshan of the Lord, Mehta himself was not a believer of the Lord. So he watched with skepticism as meals were offered 3 times a day to the Lord. So in Jagannath Puri, meals are offered to the Lord. So he's not believer. He's just noticing, okay, they are offering meals, whatever. So the proud Mehta publicly declared that he would donate 1 lakh rupees to Jagannath if temple could if temple cooks could spend the entire amount preparing a single offering of prasad. Means only one offering has to be cooked and offered to the Lord, and the cooks have to spend how much money? 1 lakh. So this is a difficult condition because it's time of 1727. At that time, 1 lakh rupees was too much. I mean, it's too much. So back then fruits and vegetables were cheap. Even in 100 rupees, we can buy enough ingredients for several offerings of food. So the challenge was very impossible. What could the cooks prepare in 1 lakh? And that too, one offering. It's not like we are making sweet, butter paneer, masala, and makhani dal and roti. One offering has to be made, single item. And that too should involve 1 lakh rupees. So it's difficult. How will cooks do that? So Mehta's challenge posed a dilemma for Jagannath's devotees, and they were saddened by his attitude as well. The priests were discussing and they were debating amongst themselves. Should we tell him that such a huge amount is simply too much, or should we suggest a smaller donation? But wouldn't that be too embarrassing to ask? We know Jagannath is great. How can we ask for less just because our human efforts fall short? So now they are thinking that how do we utilize this 1 lakh, or should we talk to Mehta that you just give lesser amount or what? So at that time, butter was most expensive item, expensive ingredient. But pujaris were considering that if they could buy enough butter to make large quantity of ghee for cooking. But what kind of prasad could they prepare with only ghee? Only with ghee, what can be made? We need to add some milk, some sugar, some atta, some suji, even to make halwa. So with ghee also, what they can make? So the most delicious and expensive prasad could be made with butter and coconut palm sweets for 10,000 rupees. But then this wealthy man from Hyderabad is offering 1 lakh, and that too he is offering for single prasad. Since the establishment of the Sri Mandir, millions of people had enjoyed Mahaprasad in temple's Anand Bazar. Even today, the temple boasts an abundance of delicacies. In fact, the Jagannath temple is unique in treating Mahaprasad as more sacred than even the deities' darshans. So, the Mahaprasad of Jagannath ji is till date, highly considered, above, than the darshans of deities himself. So everyone, regardless of caste, color, or creed, could partake in it. Yet such a problem never arisen before. The temple cooks were at a loss. So, like cooks don't know. So what do they do? They decided to seek guidance from the Lord Himself and let His will prevail. So the head pujari made a heartfelt prayer that, "Oh Lord, what do we do?" Meanwhile, so they are praying to the Lord, requesting Him to choose the food what He likes. Meanwhile, Mehta was eager to return to his business affairs in Hyderabad and he didn't want to stay in Puri any longer. So he requested the head pujari to visit him next morning to inform him their decision of prasad. What are they planning to cook for 1 lakh? Can you think of any item? Let's discuss. Can you think? Do you want to know what happened? How Lord shattered his ego? Like in 1 lakh, what can be cooked? And that too single offering. Okay, let's see. So the Pujari informed Mehta that they were still awaiting an answer from the Lord. The arrogant Mehta took this news as a sign of his victory. Oh, these priests cannot do anything. He thought like that. And he decided to stay in Puri for little longer so that he can witness Pujaris admit that they are defeated. Finally, Jagannathji responded to head Pujari's prayer, speaking to him in a dream. Let Mehta offer me a single piece of betel leaf. So, pan. So, Lord Jagannath said, let him offer me a single betel leaf, single piece of it. However, the betel nut must not be smeared with ordinary lime. तो उसके ऊपर ना चूना लगाते हैं. On the pan, we have to apply the chuna. These are some ingredients of the pan. Do you know about pan? Have you heard of this word or this item? Right? Have you heard of it? Pan. It's a basically a leaf, you know. So, however, betel nut must not be smeared with ordinary lime. It must be smeared with finely ground pearl powder. Moreover, this pearl must be one found within the forehand of a bull elephant. So this is something very expensive, very expensive. So you must be thinking, what is that? Now we'll discuss it more. So pujaris were happy. Though a piece of betel leaf could be obtained for little money, the betel leaf can be easily obtained. But the ingredient on the top of it, which is, A pearl, and that too found in a bull's forehead. Bull elephant's forehead is a rare commodity and it's very expensive. Like, we have to sacrifice many bull elephants just to find that rare one bull elephant which has pearl on its forehead. So Lord asked for that pearl as an offering on the betel leaf. So now let's see what happens. So, though a piece of betel leaf could be obtained for very little money, the addition of such a rare ingredient would make it exceedingly costly. So, when human intelligence reaches its summit, that is where divine intelligence begins. So, when we think of ourselves as intelligent, the intelligence is given to us by Lord. Lord's intelligence is beyond that. So, when human beings feel they know everything, they are introduced to something that they had no knowledge about, right? So, Dhananjay Mehta believed that he could buy anything with his wealth. But when Lord Jagannath asked for single betel leaf with a specific type of filling in it, he immediately realized he had no idea such a thing even existed. All the wealth in his possession could not fulfill this simple yet impossible request. A new facet of existence that shook the very confidence and self belief he had in himself was introduced to him. Jagannath is all knowing. So now you are listening to story of Jagannath. Lord Jagannath knows this also. The moment you think of Jagannath, he knows it. No, not only does he know everything about the world, but he knows the intention within each heart. So, whatever intention you are having right now, maybe Sia, Avyukt, me, or someone new, Lord knows that. So, without delay, the head pujaris went to Mehta and recounted the details of his dream. Isn't it amazing? Jagannath desires nothing more than a simple betel nut, yet it must be adorned with a pearl from a bull elephant's forehead. So, he didn't know. When Mehta heard this, his face turned pale. In those days, an elephant, alive or dead, was valued at 1 lakh rupees. So elephant's value, even alive or dead, is 1 lakh. Yet not every bull elephant harbored a pearl within the forehead. It was exceedingly a rare occurrence. So just to find that particular elephant, we have to sacrifice many elephants. We don't know how much cost it will be. So only one in a million possess such a pearl. How many bull elephants would have to be sacrificed to acquire a single pearl? Mehta's head spun as he considered defeat. He found himself incapable of presenting even a simple betel nut to the Lord. Basically, when he wanted to see, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, even if you offer me a leaf, flower, water, fruit, I'm happy with that. I'm pleased. But what matters the most is devotion. But here, Mehta's intention was not devotion when he was offering in 1 lakh. His intention was challenging the Lord. Okay, I will give 1 lakh. What can you offer your Lord in 1 lakh? Let me see. So he was proud of his wealth. So, as we discussed before starting the story, that ego comes in many forms. Some people are boastful about their beauty, some are boastful about their wealth, some are boastful about their education, or maybe even birth in a good family. But devotion to the Lord requires simplicity, purity of intentions. It is not dependent on all these things. We don't know how beautiful is someone. Like, Lord doesn't care even if you're beautiful. But if your heart is not filled with devotion, what is the point of that beauty? There are so many beautiful celebrities out there, but are they dear to the Lord? There are so many educated men outside there. Some are scientists, some are engineers, some are doing some inventions or discoveries. Are they dear to the Lord? Or there are people outside who are very rich, who are millionaires. Are they dear to the Lord? The one who is devoted to the Lord, surrendered to the Lord, who remembers the Lord in every situation, who is grateful, who has the attitude of servitude, is the one dear to the Lord. So to be dear to the Lord, we must imbibe such qualities in ourselves. So, in an act of surrender, he untied his turban, he removed his turban, kicked off his sandals, and dashed toward the Lord. So, he did the dandavats to the Lord basically. With his purse full of rupees, a large crowd trailed behind, witnessing the spectacle. And he cried a lot. He cried, he wept uncontrollably like a child before the Lord's deity. That day, Mehta's human pride lay shattered. So, yeah. So, how is the story? Would you like to share some insights? Any one of you can start. You can also start. Yeah.
Well, I think it was really interesting, like how the Lord Jagannath took on a challenge, like he can turn anybody from non-devotee to a devotee. He can challenge anything. Like if somebody challenges a devotee, he's always there to protect his devotees.
Yeah, Lord is always there to protect his devotees when someone tries to challenge. This is what he shared. Wonderful point. And you all can also share your points or insights. You can also say that. Yeah, Sia, Samanyu, would you like to share the points? You are on mute if you wish to speak. Any insight or anything that stood out to you? Any striking point, any thought? Sia, would you like to share? Can you hear me? You are not able to unmute?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you share anything? Anything that touched your heart, maybe?
I was kind of amazed when about the part when Jagannath asked what was the rich person's name again?
Sorry, can you repeat?
I was just kind of amazed when Krishna asked the rich person. I don't remember the name.
Mehta.
What
Mehta. The name
Mehta
of the person was Mehta, yes.
Mehta to get a pearl from the forehead of a bull elephant. Just amazed that those even existed.
Yeah. Okay. Samanyu, would you like to share something with us?
I was surprised when I heard that Jagannatha could change anyone to, like, for example, if anyone's not a devotee, he could change them to be a devotee.
Yeah. It's not only changing some person to become a devotee, but I can say change of heart is a better word. Lord can change anyone's heart, and Lord can, Lord knows how to break the ego, but still at the same time embrace that person. So, Lord can change and transform anyone's heart. This is one of the stories of Lord's transformation of heart for his, devotees, or someone's transformation of heart towards Lord. Okay, so shall we go for one more story or shall we close for today? You guys decide. Okay, so silence is the answer. So I think we can close for today. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for joining, and I would like to see you both offline someday. Please come to the temple on Sunday, and it's a beautiful day. We have feast also. You want to say something, Samanyu?
No.
You have an okay. All right. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripa sindhubhe eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Thank you so much, dear students. Hare Krishna. Danvat
Thank
pranam.
you so
Hare
much.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna
Uh,
Mataji.
hmm.